Here are 10 arguments in relationships and tips on how to connect better. Number 1, you didn't listen to me. One of the biggest argument starters in relationships isn't not listening, it's listening out for the wrong things. We often listen out for the facts, how their day went, what happened, the outcomes. What we often miss, and what's worth noting, is the emotion behind what they were saying. Normally what we would reply with would be logical solutions, or assumptions, or reassurance. Next time, when you're actively listening, try reflecting back the emotion. This will help your partner feel heard. That sounds upsetting. How did that leave you feeling? That sounds like you had a really stressful day. Validate the emotion and take it from there. Number 2, tone over content. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. There's a reason it's a cliche. If you start to question your partner while you're angry, stressed, or frustrated, before they have a chance to process what is being said, they'll process the tone and immediately feel attacked, even if that wasn't your initial intention. Next time, before you question your partner, check in with yourself. If some other third party were to hear what you were trying to say, based on your tone alone, would they feel safe? Because it's safety, not logic, that helps keep arguments calm. Number 3, small moments of rejection. When your partner makes a bid for connection, whether that's sending you a reel or making a comment or just asking you a question, you have 2 options. You either interact or you ignore them. When your effort is half-hearted or you don't engage, these can feel like micro-rejections. Over time, these micro-rejections can make a person feel like they don't matter. This one's nice and simple. When they make a bid for connection, take a few seconds to give them your full attention. Connection that builds daily builds fast and strong. Number 4, keeping score. Does your relationship feel a bit like a competition? Oftentimes we can fall into the trap of making our relationship feel transactional rather than based on connection. I did this, so can you just do this for me? It may start as a bit of a joke, but when both sides feel unappreciated, both sides lose. Next time, make the effort visible rather than measurable. Say what you appreciate and how much you appreciate it, because appreciation reduces the need to keep score. Number 5, assuming versus asking. One of the easiest ways to ruin your relationship is to start believing your own assumptions. When something feels off, people often jump to an assumption rather than questioning. They must be angry with me. They did that on purpose. And once you believe the assumption, you act with that in mind, believing the story, not the fact, creating the conflict you were trying to avoid in the first place. Next time, notice what's happening and raise it as a question. Hey, I noticed this, but I was wondering what was going on for you, keeping the conversation open rather than defensive and closed. Number 6, no repair after conflict. It's not the argument that causes damage, it's the lack of repair. When we argue, we often think that once the argument is over, that's it, it's done. But it often isn't. No repair, no reconnection, no acknowledgement. It gets marked as unresolved. And these unresolved arguments build up in memory over time. Relationships don't fail due to one big argument. They fade over time due to unresolved feelings and a lack of safety. The next time you have an argument, repair can be as simple as acknowledgement. Coming back to them and saying, I didn't handle that well. This signals safety and recognition that you want to repair and that you still care. Number 7, feeling unappreciated. In long-term relationships, effort often gets taken for granted. Tasks that were once seen and appreciated get taken as normal and everyday. What was seen as care is now seen as obligation, and that's where resentment builds. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go over the top every time your partner makes dinner or takes out the rubbish or does the washing up. But what I am saying is that a little appreciation for those normal everyday tasks can go a really long way. An example of this might be that after they're finished cooking dinner, like they would do every night, that you sit down with them and say, I know I don't always say this, but I really appreciate that dinner's on the table when I get home from work, or something along those lines. Change it how you need to for your own relationship. because feeling seen helps us build that connection. Number 8, emotional timing mismatch. Ever notice that after an argument, one of you might want to talk it out and the other might just shut down? This is one of the most common problems I see in relationships. One side feels overwhelmed while the other side feels ignored. Neither are wrong, they just have different needs, but it does create tension. A good practice after an argument is to agree on how long to pause for before you return to discuss it. An example of this might be, can we take 20 minutes and come back to this? That way both sides' needs are met. The person feeling overwhelmed has a chance to gather their thoughts, and the other person who needs to resolve things immediately knows how long they're going to wait before they're going to discuss things as a couple. Number 9, avoiding conflict. Avoiding arguments in the present might protect your feelings for now, but they are damaging your relationship. When you or your partner say it's fine when it isn't, it doesn't remove the problem, it just delays it. The problem doesn't get solved, it gets banked. And these small problems can turn into resentment or withdrawal longer term. Resolve any problems early and calmly. Don't let them get buried. Healthy relationships don't avoid conflict, they handle it. And lastly, but certainly not least, is number 10, losing small rituals of connection. Relationships don't end instantly. They break down over time. When you first get into a relationship, connection is vital. You take time out of your life for them, you check in, and you make an effort. Over time, these little rituals fade and connection weakens. No one is to blame, our lives get busy, and we get used to having our person there. Now, I'm not talking about having to make grand gestures all the time. I'm talking about consistency. Here's the final thing. Take 10 minutes out of each day for your relationship. Check in, drop your partner a message, keep up all the little things you used to do when you were both courting. And don't forget, relationships are marathons, not sprints. It matters so much more than people think. Connection is built in the small, repeated, important moments. I really hope this improves your relationships, that you argue less or at least know how to deal with them. If this has resounded with you, please drop a like or drop me a message if you'd like to learn more. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.